What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Sunday edition. It is July 27th, the last Sunday of the month of July, the last weekend that we do not have any form of football until February. I cannot believe we're already here. You can already see on the screen, we do have some of our NFL content out there. So we are breaking down every single team. We're looking at fantasy relevant players, and we're giving you our projections for those fantasy relevant players. So if you want to check those videos out, those will be linked at the end of this video, and I will be doing for each of the 32 NFL teams. But you guys are here for baseball. And if you've never been here before, it is a little bit different. The video is a little bit longer, but there are chapters for you to click in if you want to go back and forth. It would help the channel out if you guys do subscribe and watch the videos in their entirety, just for the algorithm. Would be very much appreciated. But what we do is we're going to cover every game on this main slate, all 13 games. We're going to look at all of the pitchers. We're going to look at their stats, their home and away splits. We are also going to give you our top 3 to top 5 batters on each team in each game. So we're going to look at it all, and hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll. We do have 2 giveaways. First way to win, like this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If you do all 3 of those, and this video right here gets a minimum of 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. That is a week of all sports. That's current sports that we're doing, MLB, NBA, or MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. Second way to win, somewhere in this video there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Be on the lookout for it and have a shot. All you got to do is type it in. 2 ways to win. You could win both of them. It's been a while since we've had the same person win, but it has happened multiple times. So even if the keyword is in this first winner right here, it is only for getting a minimum of 50 likes on Saturday's video, which we had over 100 likes. So this is for getting over 100 likes on the video. Even if the keyword is here, it does not matter. We're still going to re-roll it. So the winner of the likes, Aaron Rogalski 5858. Congratulations. This might be the first time you've won, and I've said that like the last 4 videos, which is awesome. It means new people are coming in, new people are winning, so it is possible for you to win. So congratulations. All you got to do is email me dfshelp1@gmail.com, or the email is in the description of this video along with our free Discord and the article for today. But in the subject line, say you are the 726 video likes winner. Let me know if you have a username on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If you do not, just all you got to do, I need an email, username, and a password, and we will set you up for your free pass. So congratulations. And the keyword was Happy Gilmore because the movie came out on Friday. So we are still going to re-roll it. So you still have a shot to win with that since you did have the keyword. So the keyword winner is Steve Willers. Congratulations. Congratulations to both of you. You know the drill. Please email me. Steve, let me know in the subject line that you are the 726 keyword winner, and then your account on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So I would love to know, did you guys watch Happy Gilmore and did you like it? If you went into the movie thinking it was going to be better than the first one, you went in with wrong expectations. Was it corny? Yes. Was it good? Was it funny? Yes. Was it a great movie? No. I mean, it was entertaining. Okay, it was entertaining. It was good for the majority of it was realistic until the last 30 minutes of the movie. I won't spoil it. Don't go in having expectations that it's going to be Shawshank Redemption or The Green Mile or even Happy Gilmore 1. It was good. There's a lot of cameos, but don't go in thinking it's going to be Titanic or a masterpiece. It was good though. Was worth the 2 hours that I watched it with my wife because my kids fell asleep and it was quiet and we could watch what we wanted, even if they cussed a little bit because everyone was asleep. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use outlier.bet to check everything out. We run 10,000 simulations in the background. So we've already ran 10,000 simulations. So we're going to cover all 13 main slate games, and then we're going to do our other segments. We're going to do our matchup tool. So all the batters have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. We're going to do the pitches be crazy segment, and then we're going to do some sports bets, what we call Makin bacon. So just looking at some ballpark factors today. We have there's hot and humid everywhere, and the ball should fly out of there. Great American Small Park, Tampa Bay at Cincy has the most chance for home runs at 45%. You've got Yankee Stadium, Phillies at New York, probably without Aaron Judge, 33% chance of home runs. Guaranteed Rate Field, Cubs, White Sox, 25% chance of home runs. We've got them there. Then we've got Oriole Park, Colorado at Baltimore with 17% chance, and Angel Stadium. The wind is blowing directly out, has a chance for 10% of home runs there. So that being said, we are ready to rock and roll. We're going to look at DraftKings. We do have some weather concerns, like quite a bit here, which kind of stinks. So we got 13 games, and the first 5 right here have rain concerns. Okay? And then San Diego at St. Louis has another rain concern as well. So hopefully it doesn't screw us over. But yeah, there's some rain concerns. We're going to build this out like there is no rain concerns, and we're going to give you what we can information-wise. So that being said, Colorado at Baltimore is the first game we are going to cover. It is Sagano versus Austin Gomber. So Sagano coming in. We've used him a couple of times this year. He's 6,500. He's cheaper. He's got a 4.5 ERA. Really hasn't hit value. So value-wise on DraftKings, you're looking for basically in between 20 to 30 fantasy points per pitcher since we have 2, and in between 40 to 50 per pitcher on Fanduel since you have 1 pitcher there. He really has not hit value, aka 20 plus, since June 3rd. It's almost been 2 months. We haven't really used him. I mean, he does have a great matchup here against Colorado. He's obviously never faced them before. When he pitches at home, he does have a 4.86 ERA. So honestly, like, it's a good matchup for him, but he has been atrocious when we've used him. He's averaging 10.3 fantasy points per game. Colorado, I don't think I want pitching in this one. You got Austin Gomber coming in, 6 ERA. Splits-wise, he has not faced Baltimore this year. When he pitches on the road, he does have a better ERA because it's not Coors, but it's still 3.86 on the road. So looking at that, I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one and going with the bats on both sides, just because I don't trust either of these pitchers. Obviously, Sagano could have a good game because of how bad Colorado is, but they've been putting up runs against Baltimore. So if we're just looking at Colorado, obviously they've never seen Sagano before, but if we're looking against right-handed pitching and batters I would take in this Colorado team, it'd be Mickey Moniak off the top, Tyler Freeman, number 2, Tyro Estrada, 3, Hunter Goodman, 4. If you want to go a full stack, you want to add someone in there, maybe probably Jordan Beck is what I would look at for Colorado side. Baltimore against Gomber. No one's had a home run in their career. I mean, basically, outside of Dylan Carlson, it's basically 1 start that they've had against him. Alex Jackson, I don't know if he gets in there, but I believe he had a home run on, it was Friday. And I don't know if he starts, but if he is in there, he is a very cheap option for you. You could look at Kobe Mayo a little bit. Cedric Mullins, I would throw in there, 278 with 3 bombs. Jordan Westberg, 250 with 3 home runs as well. Those would be what I'd look at. You know, you can always add in, obviously, Jackson Holiday or Gunnar Henderson there. It is a Sunday. Normally, Sunday's the day of rest for catchers, so that is always something to monitor. Plus, the weather being a concern. This could actually go from a 13-game slate to realistically 8 games if the weather doesn't cooperate. And it's basically the same system in this entire area here, just the East Coast, not East Coast, Midwest. Is it Midwest? Yeah. Baltimore? No. Cincy's Midwest, right? I think Ohio's considered. I don't know. I guess I don't know where Midwest, where the boundaries are, but it's the same system, so it's definitely something we need to monitor. So we got the Dodgers at Boston next. You got Dustin May versus Walker Buehler. Obviously, Buehler facing his old team. You always kind of look at that, and in my mind, I'm always thinking he just was on this team for X amount of years of his career. The scouting department's the same. The coaches are the same. The players are the same. They know what he likes to throw when he throws it. That always gives me a boost to take the bats in this one. And you just get a double dose since it's the Dodgers and they're really good. Buehler does come in with a 5.72 ERA. He is coming off a good start against Philly, 17.5, but you can see he struggled at negative fantasy points against LA and Seattle. Both teams are obviously not as good. When he pitches at home, he does have a 4 ERA, but it's the Dodgers. If the weather holds off, I don't like Buehler. Then you got Dustin May coming in, really like bad start against Giants, okay against Minnesota, great against the White Sox. Splits-wise, when he pitches on the road, 7.07. That's the problem. He is bad on the road. The wind blowing out here, if it happens, I'm probably taking – I could see this being a shootout. You kind of hope it would be a shootout and we'd get a bunch of runs. But I think I'm more at the moment siding with the Dodgers bats, but we'll definitely see. Like Conforto has a home run against Buehler. Freddie Freeman has a home run, 1 for 8 though. But against right-handed pitching this year, like Will Smith. Now, Will Smith being his battery mate, catching him for however many years he did. Obviously, I would get a boost to him if he starts. I would use him. I would use Freddie Freeman. I'm probably going to use Ohtani. He's got 30 bombs against righties this year. Andy Pajes is another one I'd look at. And then if I need a fifth one to do a full 5-man stack, I don't know if Betts is going to be in there. So let's say he's out. Maybe I look at Tommy Edman. Maybe. It just depends. But I'm probably just going to avoid the pitching in this one. Boston bats, they really have not seen Dustin May. Against right-handed pitching, though, Rafaela batting 281 with 8 bombs I would look at. Trevor Story batting 252 with 11 home runs. Wilyer Abreu 252 with 19 bombs. Duran, who his name has been up there in trade rumors. The trade deadline is, I think, Thursday. So this is my favorite part of the baseball year besides opening day and playoffs. It's trade deadline. Just love to see what you get as long as it's not the Dodgers getting everybody. Another couple, Duran would be one I'd look at if he gets in there and doesn't get traded. Carlos Narvaez is probably another catcher that if he starts that I would use in this one. So I'm avoiding the pitching. But yeah, I would stack both teams, but I stack the Dodgers a little bit more. Philly at New York, the Yankees got word yesterday that Judge is throwing elbows on the fritz, I guess. Have not seen the news come out yet, so not sure what it's like. I could see him maybe being DH, but then if he's DH, then Stanton doesn't play. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But you got Zach Wheeler versus Carlos Rodon. The Yankees are looking like a trash team right now. Wheeler would be where I'd go. He's averaging 25.8. Rodon is averaging 20.5. I get that. If I'm looking at pitchers, Zach Wheeler's a stud. I would look at Zach Wheeler. If you want to go contrarian, I'd go Rodon. If we're going bats-wise, it's pretty much everyone on Philly. Schwarber dominates lefties, and then the rest of the guys, they hit lefties very well. Yankees against Wheeler, I mean, the only ones that I would really trust, depending if they're in there, Jazz, Bellinger. I'm probably not going with the Yankees. Hopefully I'm wrong, being a Yankees fan, but it's not been a good month. We got Wheeler. I mean, I'm all in on Wheeler. Give me Wheeler and give me the Phillies bats. Don't overthink this one. And again, we might not even get this game in. It just depends on what this rain is going to do. Arizona at Pittsburgh is the next one. You've got Paul Skeens versus Zach Gallen. Gallen has struggled this year. 5.58 ERA splits-wise. He's faced Pittsburgh once. 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 Ks. Like, he did nothing in that game. When he pitches on the road, it is a 5.16 ERA. And then it's Paul Skeens. So I'm taking Paul Skeens, and I'm looking at some of these Pirates bats. I know the Pirates are a bad team. Zach Gallen, normally a good pitcher, looking off this year for whatever reason. But I would take Skeens, and then honestly, I'm looking at some of these Pittsburgh bats. Tommy Pham is a cheap option. He's the only one with the home run. But against righties this year, you can see they do hit very well. O'Neal Cruz, whose name's been out there in the trade rumors, 248 batting average, 15 bombs. I would use him. IKF is another one, 284. I would use him. Nick Gonzalez I would use. Probably Tommy Pham. And cheaper option would be Spencer Horwitz if you want to go a full Pittsburgh stack there. But yeah, Skeens and the Pirates bats if you want to go any bats in this game, but just go Skeens. Again, hopefully he gets the strikeouts he needs because he's basically going right about 5 innings, and that's what we're getting at him for 5 innings. So you don't love to see that, but it is definitely what happens there for sure. So then the next game we've got is Tampa Bay at Cincy. More rain concern. Don't want to see it, but we have it. You got Shane Baz versus Brady Singer. Baz has been pretty bad this year, 4.66 ERA, got a weird, gross mustache looking. Game log-wise, -5 against the White Sox. And this is where I'll tell you, this is where I think we're different than other providers. I'll let you know when I'm wrong. I took Baz against the White Sox. I suggested Baz last week against the White Sox because the White Sox are a trash team. Okay? He's over 9,000. He's 9,500 now. His price has gone up. He hasn't done much with it. -5 against the White Sox. Obviously not ideal. Now, whether or not that had anything to do with being off the All-Star break and then X amount of days in between starts, 9 days in between starts, I could see that. And we've mentioned that before. And now he goes into Cincy with the ball or the wind flying out. If the rain holds off, that does scare me. And then you got Brady Singer, 4.75 ERA. He's also coming off minus 11.5 fantasy points. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't trust either pitcher. I'm going bats. So let's use outlier. Let's hopefully be able to pick some bats that we like in this game. Now, I don't like either pitcher. Yes, they could have good games here, but 13 games, potentially, if none get rained out. There are other pitchers we can use today. So bats-wise against Brady Singer, not much success. Aranda, 3 for 6 with a home run. That's it. Against right-handed pitching, they do hit very well. Aranda batting 324, I would use him. Yandy Diaz batting 303 with 11 bombs, I would use him. Jake Mangum batting 321, 2 bombs, I would use him. There are ways to go about this. A full stack, I don't mind. You could add in Junior Caminero, 271 with 20-plus home runs. You could look at maybe, depends, Chandler Simpson, still batting over 300 against righties. I don't know if he gets the start, but that would be where I'd go Tampa Bay-wise. Cincy bats against Boz. Tyler Stevenson, 3 for 4 with a home run. I don't know if he starts, but if he does, he's an option there. But you got Ellie batting over 300 with double-digit home runs. I would use him. Trevino, if he is in there, I like him. Okay, but if it's Stevenson, I don't mind Stevenson either. It depends on which catcher's going to start for them. Noel V. Marte's batting 317 this year against right-handed pitching with 6 bombs. I would use him. Matt McLean, 220 with 9 home runs. I would use him. Spencer Steer's another one that you could look at. 258 batting average, 9 home runs against righties. So I'm avoiding the pitching. I think you probably should too, unless you can find a cheap option. But Brady Singer at 7,700, averaging only 12.4, not enough for me. Not enough at all. So let's move to the next game. We got Toronto at Detroit. You got Jack Flaherty versus Max Scherzer. Flaherty has struggled this year. He's got a 4.77 ERA, coming off 7 fantasy points against Pittsburgh. Okay. Against Seattle, 17.65 is that's not terrible, but it's not 20 plus that we need. Against Tampa Bay, he did have a good start. So he's been up and down. You look at his splits, he's already faced Toronto once this year, 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. He had 21.2 fantasy points. If he could get that again, I would love that. You look at his home splits, 3.71. He is damn near half better, 3.71 compared to 6.28 on the road. Flaherty at home, I think maybe you do take a flyer on him. He's 8,500. He is kind of expensive for that, but if he could get 21.2 here, I'm okay with that. Then you got Scherzer. Never know what you're going to get out of Scherzer. Against the Yankees, 7.65. Okay? Against the Yankees prior to that, 19.45. So he had success. Great game against the Athletics in a pitcher's nightmare of a ballpark there. But against the Yankees there, did not have a good game. 4 earned runs. He's one of those that's very up and down. It's his former team. Detroit, though, they're obviously a very good hitting team this year. In his career against the current roster of the Tigers, 42 plate appearances, 175 batting average, 33.3 K percentage. Those are good numbers. Definitely good numbers you could look at. Still's got a 5 ERA. I think he's more of a tournament option. I don't love how he's 8,200 and he's averaging 11.6. Not an ideal situation. DraftKings loves to not pay down when a superstar is having a bad time, just because it's the brand name, they put the number on there. He is not an $8,200 pitcher. He's not even really a 7,500 plus pitcher. He's not brought that to the table this year. Come on, guys, what are you doing? So if we look at bats, Flaherty at home, I'm okay with against Toronto. But if you want to go against him, Vladdy does have 1 home run against him. That's the only one with a home run. They are pretty good against righties this year, as you can see. If you are looking at any of them, probably Bo Bichette, I would look at Addison Barger, Alejandro Kirk. I don't know if Kirk gets in there, but if he is, I do like him. Or George Springer is where I'm at. And then, again, if you want a full stack, Vladdy or Ernie Clement, I'm okay with. Detroit against Scherzer. Vierling's the only one with a home run. They aren't actually that good against righties. Riley Green batting over 300 with 23 home runs. I like that. Torkelson batting 227, but does have 13 bombs. Colt Keith batting 272 with 8 home runs. I'm okay with that. And you could always add in a Javi Baez if he's in there, or a Gleyber Torres, Parker Meadows, Wenzel Perez. It just really depends on the lineup that comes out. But the 3 that I started at the beginning, those would be my main ones that I would use for Detroit if I'm not going with a full stack today. And we'll have all of our stacks and everything on our cheat sheet. So make sure about an hour or two before first pitch of the main slate, we do 20,000 sims. So you can definitely check out what we've done. It's on the cheat sheet. The stacks are there. The top 10 stacks are there. So then we got the Cubs at the White Sox. We've got Ben Brown versus Sean Burke. So Brown just got lit up by Kansas City. 4 innings, 7 runs. Obviously not ideal. -5. So he had a month in between. -5 there. Kind of up and down. Don't know how deep he's going to go into this game. It's at the White Sox. The wind blows out here. You got Sean Burke against the Cubs. 14-14. I mean, that's what we're getting. He's at 6,200. He's 6,300. He's faced the Cubs once this year, 4.2 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 runs total. When he pitches at home, he's got a 3.79, so it's okay. But the Cubs offense is obviously, they're a good hitting team. Okay. I don't think it's been confirmed yet that is, in fact. Let me see. So Ben Brown has not been confirmed, but it is his turn in the rotation. So if I am looking at bats in this one for the White Sox, Mike Tauchman, you guys know, I always like to look at Mike Tauchman. I would look at Luis Robert if he doesn't get traded. Chase Meadroth is another one I'd look at. Cubs bats against Sean Burke. I mean, 21 plate appearances against the Cubs, 353 batting average. So basically one start wasn't ideal. I'm looking at PCA. I'm looking at Seiya Suzuki. I'm looking at Michael Busch. I'm looking at, I don't know if he's in there, but Matt Shaw makes a little bit of sense to me. I could see some Ian Happ as well. So pitching-wise, we've got better pitching options. We don't need to worry about either the Cubs or White Sox pitchers. Let's just go with the bats in that game. I'm siding more with the Cubs, but I think a sneaky stack today could be the White Sox. So then we've got the Athletics at Houston. We've got JT Ginn versus Colton Gordon. Gordon averaging 11.1. You look at him, like he has not hit the value since June 25th against Philly. Splits-wise, he has faced the Athletics once this year. 10.4 fantasy points, obviously not enough. You look at him pitching at home in 6 starts, he's got a 4.78. I don't trust that. And then you got Ginn here, 4.50 ERA. He's faced Houston once, went 4.2 innings, 2 earned runs. The problem is with him, he's gone 5 innings twice. One April 12th, and then one his last start against Texas. That's what scares me. It's at Houston. I'm probably looking at the bats over everything else. So we would definitely maybe feel more comfortable just taking the bats. I think Houston makes more of a sense as a stack, but we'll look at both sides. We'll look at all of the pitchers and stuff like that. So the Athletics versus Gordon. Lawrence Butler does have a home run. Against lefties, though, they aren't that good. Jacob Wilson batting 347, Brent Rooker batting 304, and Duhar batting 405. Langler's batting 389. I would look at those guys. You could always throw in Lawrence Butler in there, but he's only batting 192 with 3 bombs. But he does have 1 home run against him, so he's got that going for him. Then Houston against Ginn, no one's hit a home run. They don't do as well against righties, but if I'm using some, probably Bryce Matthews is a cheap option. Altuve would be my number 2. My number 3 is probably Christian Walker. And then a couple of cheap options. You could always look at Dubon or Taylor Trammell. Always good options if you need cheaper ones. And again, it's Sunday. We're going to see some of these players that you think should start, maybe aren't starting, and then update accordingly, obviously, with whatever lineup that comes out. And you can, again, when we know the lineup's out and it is confirmed, you can go to Outlier. And when it is confirmed, it'll show you the lineup, the exact lineup that they are having, and it'll show all the stats that you need. So that's why it does update in real time, too. So it's always a good thing, like when it updates in real time. So the Nationals at Minnesota is next. Minnesota has not confirmed if it is, in fact, Travis Adams. He pitched July 18th. It's been 8 days. News-wise, they did recall him 3 days ago, taking the roster spot by David Festa, who was placed on the IL. He could slide into Festa's rotation spot this weekend. So that is always an idea, but we cannot confirm that is, in fact, him. He went 1 inning in that game. So don't know if he's going to start. That's the problem. I'm probably off of him. Jake Irvin, I'm off of him as well. 23 plate appearances against the Twins, 381 batting average. I would rather focus on the bats here. So if I'm looking at bats, just in the game overall, because I don't want the pitching, I want bats. For the Twins, I would do Buxton. I would do Willie Castro. I would do Ryan Jeffers, maybe a little bit of Trevor Larnach. On the flip side of that, for the Nationals, James Wood, C.J. Abrams, Luis Garcia, I always like. against, if it is a righty, I do like Nate Lowe against righties as well. Weather shouldn't be a problem, so we should be good to go there. I'm avoiding the pitching on both sides. Miami at Milwaukee is the next game here. You got Yuri Perez versus Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff has been dominant since coming back. 3 straight starts, 20 plus out of there, 22 plus out of there. Against Seattle, his last start, we took him 6 innings, 5 Ks. I had 10 Ks against Washington. He's got a great matchup here against Miami. In his career against this current Miami team, 36 plate appearances, 33.3 K percentage, only a 2.8 walk percentage, 0.59 batting average against him, with only a 101 WOBA, an exit velo of 85.4, so they are not barreling the ball on him, and the launch angle is 19 degrees. All of that tells me let's rock and roll with Brandon Woodruff. So if we go to the flip side of that, you got Yuri Perez, who, he struggled to start the season, coming off not such a good start against San Diego. Still got a 3.23 ERA, 28, 29, 30 fantasy point outing here. Splits-wise, he has not obviously faced Milwaukee this year. In his career, only 9 plate appearances, so not much. So when you look at him on the road this year in 5 starts, 3.47 ERA. So he has been worse on the road, and Milwaukee's obviously a really great ball club this year. So that kind of scares me a little bit. If I'm taking one pitcher in this game, it's probably Woodruff. But if you want to look at some of the bats that maybe you decide on both sides, maybe I think Woodruff obviously is going to be very expensive. He's going to be very highly owned. So contrarian thing would be go against him just in case. Miami against him, or against, no one's had success except Hernandez, 1 or 2 for 2 with a home run. But against right-handed pitching, they're pretty good. I mean, Kyle Stowers has been on fire this year. He's got 20-plus home runs, batting .297 against righties. He would be one I'd look at. Augusto Ramirez would be one I'd look at. Otto Lopez is another one if you want a full stack. Xavier Edwards. And probably Jesus Sanchez would be the 5 that I would look at. And again, depends on which lineup comes out for Miami today. Milwaukee against Perez, no one's had success. But against right-handed pitching, kind of up and down. But, I mean, if I'm stacking against Perez and we think Perez is going to have a bad game, Christian Yelich I'm looking at. Bryce Terang I'm looking at. Eric Haase I'm looking at. If Haase's not in, William Contreras is in there. I don't mind him either. If you want a full stack, Jackson Chourio, might even go Isaac Collins to get a little off-the-wall pick there for an outfield position. So, now Brandon Woodruff is $10,500. He's very expensive, but I do like him a lot. I would use him over Yuri Perez. Cleveland at Kansas City is the next game. It is a pitch. I mean, you guys have been with us, It's a massive ballpark. It's a pitcher's ballpark. You usually love to see it. You got Noah Cameron versus Joey Cantillo. Now, Cantillo, 14 plate appearances against the Royals in his career, 231 batting average, so not much. He's been one of those, what are we going to get out of him? Probably right around 5 innings, which is kind of what we've seen in the last 2 games. Against Baltimore, 19.65. He was 7,300. He has gone up to 7,500 now. Splits-wise, he hasn't done much. He's only started 4 total games, so we can't really go off those splits because it's not a big sample size. Noah Cameron, on the other hand, kind of a surprise to start the season. He's got a 2.61 ERA. Against the Cubs, 19.3. You said 25. You saw 27 there. You look at his splits. When he pitches at home or when he starts, he is worse at home for some reason. 3.29 ERA at home. I'm okay with him, but we do like to look at when we take some of these bats. It's been pretty fun to get some of these Cleveland bats. Now, anytime they're going up against a lefty, we love to take Jose Ramirez. It's fun. I like it. That's where I would go in this direction. No one's seen Cameron before, but against lefties, you can see J. Ram batting .339 with 4 bombs. Carlos Santana, 238, I'm okay with. Angel Martinez would be a cheaper option. Outside of that, Steven Kwan batting .262. Rodriguez, it'd be a cheap option. I don't know. Outside of, I honestly, at the moment, through 10,000 sims, there's not many Cleveland bats I like outside of J. Ram, Santana, and Martinez. Cameron might be in a good spot there. Cantillo, 5 innings we're getting out of him. It's a pitcher's ballpark I'm okay with. For tournaments, I think both pitchers are probably tournament only. But if you are looking at Kansas City bats against Quintillo. You could obviously look at Bobby Witt Jr.'s batting .338 against lefties. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Maikel Garcia batting .333. I think he had a 2-run home run on Saturday. I'm okay with him. I'm probably okay with, maybe Vinny Pasquantino. I mean, there's not much. Sal Perez, I don't know if Perez will get started on this day. Sunday, he could rest. I know he plays sometimes catcher, sometimes first, sometimes DH. I get that. So we'll see what we get out of that. So if I'm taking a pitcher, it would probably be Cameron, but at the moment, I don't know if I will use him. It just depends on what we get there. San Diego at St. Louis is the next game on the docket. We've got Stephen Kolek versus Michael McGreevy. I feel like McGreevy just pitched, but my mind, it just goes. McGreevy's never faced San Diego before. Kolek has only faced 7 St. Louis bats, so that much to go off of. Both expensive considering they're averaging less than 14 fantasy points a game. I'm off of both pitchers. I would just look at the bats if this game gets played. Now, there is a weather concern, so it's definitely something to look at, but let's check out the bats on both sides. I'm probably going to be more on the side of San Diego stack. Obviously, they've never faced him before, but against righties, like you got Tatis batting .284 with 15 bombs. Love that. Machado batting .300 with 9 bombs. Love that. Arise batting .295 with 2 home runs. I like that. So if you need a couple more to make a full stack, I don't mind Jackson Merrill batting .273. I don't mind Johnson if he gets in there. Only 17 at-bats, but batting .353. Now, again, I don't know if he starts. But if he is out, maybe we look at a Cronenworth or a Bogey. Just depends on the lineup that San Diego throws out there. St. Louis bats against Kolek. Again, they really haven't seen him. Against righties this year, they're doing pretty good. Burleson, .312. Donovan batting .331. I'm okay with those. I think Mason Wynn makes a lot of sense for me today. Victor Scott, and if I need a 5th one for a full stack, Pedro Pajes. I don't know. I like Pedro Pajes if he starts, but again, they got Pozo, Pajes, and Herrera that could all start. And then you got Wilson Contreras with 9 bombs. Those would be the ones I'd look at. If some of those, like Pajes, Pozo, Herrera out, all of them somehow, there's always Nolan Arenado as well. But his name also been thrown around there for trade. So, again, trade deadline is, Thursday at 5 p.m., I think. So we're there. We will definitely see what happens, but that's kind of what I feel like at the moment. Then the final game of the main slate, we've got Atlanta versus Texas. And then the only game that we don't have is the Mariners at the Angels because it's one of those weird times that it's just a separate game. And then you got Sunday Night Baseball between the Mets and the Giants. And the Giants don't have who the pitcher is going to be yet, but pretty on par for the Giants most of the time. So then at the Braves at Texas, you got Jack Leiter versus Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder, 6 plate appearances, 167. Jack Leiter's never faced the Braves before. Both are averaging very below what we need. We need 20+. He is coming off a good start, 22+ fantasy points against the Athletics, which we did take him against in that game. 7 Ks. He did well. He would have had 30+ fantasy points had he not had the 4 walks. Had no walks at all in 7 Ks. We're looking at 30+ out of him. Outside of that, he hasn't been ideal for the majority of the year. We look at splits when he pitches at home. He's got a 3.94, which is better than on the road, but it's still almost a 4 ERA. Then you got Bryce Elder coming in, 5.63 ERA. Bad start against San Francisco, good start against the Athletics. Splits-wise, he has not faced Texas this year. When he pitches on the road, it's a 4.71, which is better than home, but it's still elevated. Both of those numbers on both of those pitchers kind of makes me just want to go the bats. Do not trust them enough. I'd rather focus on bats on both sides. We do have other pitchers. Love Skeens today. Love Woodruff today. Probably my top 2 pitchers of the day. If you want to save a little bit of money, probably Woodruff is where I'd go in that situation. Because Skeens is expensive, $10,900. Wheeler's $10,800. I mean, we have 4 pitchers over $10,000. I love Skeens and Woodruff for sure. So if we're looking at bats against righties this year, Atlanta, you can see there's only 3 batters that don't do well against lefties or righties this year. Outside of that, my top 3 here, Acuna batting over 340 with double-digit home runs. Matt Olson, 263 with double-digit home runs. Ozuna, 236 with double-digit home runs. I'm looking there. If you need a full stack against Leiter, probably looking at Eli White would be a cheap option if he's in there. I don't know if he will be. Maybe an Ozzie Albies or a Marcell Ozuna is where I'd go. Texas bats against Elder. Corey Seager 1 for 2. That one hit's a home run. But against righties, you can see Josh Young and Hellman are the only two that are worse against righties than lefties. But I'm looking at Corey Seager. I'm looking at Marcus Semien. I'm looking at Josh Smith. In full stack, Wyatt Langford on top of that. Adolis Garcia is probably where I'd go for a fifth man if we're trying to stack in this game. And there you have it. That is the main slate completely done. 13 games. It's a weird Sunday slate. Usually we have like 8 or 9 main, then like 4 or 5 like afternoon, and then you have the Sunday night game. But today's just different. I'm not really sure why, but that's what we've got. So now we're going to do our other segments. We're going to do our matchup tool. So these are all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Now, the overall record is 38. Yesterday we hit... Did we hit 37? I think we hit 37 yesterday. We're not going to hit that today. But these are all of the batters through 10,000 simulations that currently have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. It loves the Dodgers, like I said, against Buehler. Number 1 is Shohei Ohtani. Number 2, if he plays, is Mookie Betts. 3 is Byron Buxton. 4, Mickey Moniak. 5, Tyler Freeman. 6, Freddie Freeman. 7, Ramon Laureano. 8, Teoscar Hernandez. 9, Hunter Goodman. 10, Will Smith. 11, Vladdy Guerrero. 12, Corey Seager. 13, Andy Pages. 14, Fernando Tatis Jr. 15, Jonathan India. 16, Brent Rooker. 17, Josh Smith. 18, Marcus Semien. 19, Miguel Rojas. 20, Ryan Jeffers. 21, Alejandro Kirk. 22, Nick Kurtz. 23, Alec Burleson. 24, Brendan Donovan. 25, Royce Lewis. 26, Jackson Merrill. 27, Luis Ariz. 28, Xander Bogaerts. And 29, Kyle Higashioka if he plays in that game. So we got 29 batters with a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 sims. Now we're going to do our Pitches Be Crazy segment. Now what this segment is, these are the top 5 pitchers these are the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most and the pitchers going up against them. Not necessarily the top 5 for the day. We don't always agree with this, but we are going with statistics here. So Sagano versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.71 times per game, 10.29 on the road, but Sagano really has not been a strikeout pitcher this year, and I don't trust him, so I could see this being a shootout, so I'm probably not going to have him. Number 2 is Logan Gilbert at the Angels, one of those games that's not on the main slate, but you can do sports betting-wise. The Angels strike out 9.66 times per game, 9.53 at home. Number 3 is Dustin May at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.10 times per game, but only 7.98 at home. I'm probably avoiding that one as well. I think that game is a shootout. I could see 15-plus runs in that game if the weather holds up. Number 4 is Kyle Hendricks versus Seattle. Not my favorite because Kyle Hendricks is a boring pitcher. But Seattle strikes out 8.89 times per game, 8.87 on the road. And then the final one is Max Scherzer at Detroit. Detroit strikes out 8.76 times per game, 8.46 at home. I really don't like that today. I mean, Logan Gilbert I do like. Outside of that, I would pay up for Zach Wheeler. I would look at Paul Skeens. I would look at Brandon Woodruff. And then Logan Gilbert. Outside of that, I'm probably avoiding the rest of them. And now we're going to do our final segment, Makin Bacon. But before we get to the final segment, the keyword of the day, the keyword is, let's go with Fun Day. It's Sunday Fun Day. Let's get that in there. Okay, so these are batters. Now, I wouldn't parlay all these together, but these are definitely batters you can look at that get 2+ bases or 1 hit. You could look at 1 hit plus runs and RBIs. It just depends on what you want to do. But these are some of the top bats with the wind, with the ballpark factors, with the matchups, everything. Number 1 is Shohei Ohtani. Number 2 is Mookie Betts. 3 is Mickey Moniak. 4, Tyler Freeman. 5, Freddie Freeman. 6, Hunter Goodman. 7, Ramon Laureano. 8, Byron Buxton. 9, Luis Ariz. And finally, 10, Fernando Tatis. 11, Alejandro Kirk. 12, Brent Rooker. 13, Vladdy. 14, Andy Pages. And 15, we've got Willie Castro versus Jake Irvin. So we have 15 batters there that you could look at, all in a great spot. A lot of weather concerns, so let's definitely pay attention to that weather. But all of those have winds blowing out as well. It just depends on if with that wind will be torrential downpours, the game gets postponed, then we all get screwed. So now we're going to do the final part of the segment. It is the pitchers segment. So we're going to look at some starting pitchers. We're going to look at some of the And it depends on which book you have, but some of the lines, maybe you can alt line some of these strikeouts. Number one is Zach Wheeler versus the Yankees. If you could find, honestly, 9 to 10 plus strikeouts, that could be sneaky here. It's up there. But yeah, Zach Wheeler for 9 plus strikeouts is what I'd look at. If you can alt it down to like 7 or 8, I'm okay with that. Logan Gilbert for 7 plus strikeouts, I'm okay with that. Paul Skeens against Arizona, 5 to 6 plus strikeouts. The problem is he needs to get that within the first 5 innings because they're basically going to pull him, most likely. Carlos Rodon against the Phillies, 5 plus strikeouts I'm okay with. Brandon Woodruff against Miami, 5 plus strikeouts, but you can alt it up to like 7, and I would be okay with that as well. So there you have it. That is your Sunday slate done. If you have not checked everything else out, make sure you check everything else. We've got baseball every single day of the week. We've got PGA on Thursdays. Those are always there. We've got MMA on Saturdays. Now, depends on which Saturday. When they're across seas, like yesterday, it was 11 a.m. Central start time. It's usually like 5 to 6 p.m., but it just depends on where it's actually at. Sundays, we have NASCAR as well. And there's some Saturday games, obviously, or Saturday races. It just depends on what it is. But what we're looking at is we do have NASCAR for today, so make sure you get all of that information in there. Let's have a great Sunday, whether or not you're sports betting, hanging out with family, playing DFS. Make sure you get in our free Discord down below as well. We get some core plays in there, value plays, and some stacks we like. A lot of things in there. So if you are still here and you want to rewatch this video, that would help me a lot. But we are doing football. Been looking at possibly getting a DraftKings like $5 entry weekly league going where top 3 play or pay each week if there's at least 10 people in it. Would love to get more. The more the merrier. Usually we do a league, and then at the end of the year, the top 3 at the end, you get your money every single week, but the top 3 get different passes to the website as well. So first place prize is always usually a year pass. A second place overall is usually, or first place is a lifetime pass. Second place is a yearly pass, and third place is a monthly pass. If I am one of the top 3, I take whatever spot that is, so you got to beat me. But each week you put your $5 in, you win money as well. So you win money every single week if you place, and then at the end of the year, you could win a pass as well. So definitely, if you're interested in that, get in our Discord and kind of talk about that in the NFL channel. On top of that, I do know the weekend of August 15th, 16th, and 17th, okay? There'll most likely be a video. There'll be a video the 15th, of the Friday the 15th. There will be no video Saturday or Sunday. I'm having a boys' trip to St. Louis, so there'll be no videos then, but I will take my computer, hopefully be able to get you guys content on FTA Plus. If not, if I'm unable to actually get content that weekend, then I will add 2 days to everyone's subscription at the end. Whenever your subscription ends, you just email me and I give you 2 days. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to the Yankees-Cardinals game that Friday night, I believe. I think Friday the 15th we're going to the game. The all-inclusive tickets. But yeah, so that being said, hopefully you have a great day today. Make sure you check everything else out. We've got our NFL content. I will link at the end. We've done a couple of videos. We've done some shorts as well with those videos, but I will continue to pump out those videos in the coming weeks because we got fantasy football coming up very, very soon. So let's have a great day. Good luck. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.